Hi. Hi. Well, um, hey, hi. So, uh, some people do different things than me, and maybe they really enjoy their lives. Um, for me, here's how my life felt. As a child, as a small child, it was one of the most best good dream like a good dream lives that anyone could have ever had in my life. It was like a good dream. I went to a child care center, and sometimes I usually stayed like away from the other kids and in my own happy world. And I had plenty of friends too. And I talked to people. When I was really little, my mom and dad brought me out places, and it was like everyone loved me. And I looked really good. My face was really good looking. There was not a flaw on it, and I was as good looking as a child could be. And I had brown hair, and I had brown eyes, and I didn't have any like big body hair or anything. I wasn't like one of those kids who look funny a little and then they grow up and maybe good looking. I don't know. It was other people have different experiences. They didn't like childhood, and when they got older and they got away from home, they really liked it, and then they went back to their mom and dad and got along. And for me, you can say you can say how your life was in the comments. You want to? You can talk all about it in the comments. Leave as long as the comment it'll let you, or as God will let you, not as it will let you, as God wants you to. If God wants you to, write a bunch, and I'll try to give it a love or something, or like, unless it's something bad about it. If God wants you to do it. So, and make your own video if you want. And so, here's what I'd like to talk about. My food's ready or whatever. I don't eat. I'm not gonna eat that right now. I don't know. And and so the thing that happened was great for me as a child. And after early childhood, which was really good, and my mom and dad didn't even have cable TV, so we almost never heard curse words, and we didn't really hear them in schools in elementary school. I don't think there's any cursing all in elementary school. They're pretty good. And my mom and dad are really good, and everybody loved me in the whole town. The entire town, they didn't know who I was. Only the few people who saw me around the town. It felt like I was loved when I went out in public. Like, we'd go to Moore's. There was a hardware store, and it was Moore's and Hills, and I'd go out in public in any of the various stores, and I don't associate those with me. I'm not going to comment on them, but everywhere I went, including those stores and any other stores in the town, or if they brought me to New York or down to Myrtle Beach or anywhere I went, I was loved as a small child up until I was about 10, and I looked really good and felt really good and had like no problems, and it was like a good dream. And something happened in junior high where I started liking rock music because I already played music. I don't know, I don't know. You can do whatever you want to do. You might have done something else. You might be a carpenter like Jesus, or you might do something like that, or you might do something that you like better than trying to be like the big famous movie star like Liza Minnelli, who gets out of a car and she poses or something and poses to the audience, and everyone's looking at her like a crowd of people as she gets out of a car, and she's the most famous one, and they think she's so cool. And you might not give a crap about that, but when I was in elementary school, I never said crap. I never said anything like that. I think. Wait. We learned little curse words like that when I was about 10. By the time I was about 10, I think when I was 9, I didn't really say any of them. We were pretty good, and these two other kids were on my street. We were best friends, There were three of us, and we were friends with these other kids, and we'd ride our bikes to one another's houses. And I started to collect comics because I mowed people's lawns. I mowed my lawn and the neighbor's lawn, and I got $12 every time I mowed the lawn, so I got $24 a week in the summer. And I bought comics and stuff, and then it was good to be alive. There were never any problems. It was never that bad. This is the thing I was going to try to tell everyone about her. It was always okay. It was always okay. And my life got so bad feeling. My life feels so bad. It's like almost like it's not ruined, but it feels almost like it's ruined. And it feels so bad every day to have to be alive. And I don't know what happened to my life. It feels so bad to have to be alive. It feels really bad. And I'm so afraid to tell anyone because they had the police take me away as if there was something wrong with me if I said I was sad. And it was scary. And I don't have anyone to really tell how I feel besides kind of this now, but I'm not going to kill myself. I don't have any plans to kill myself. And I'd rather be in heaven, but God keeps me living for some reason. He wouldn't let me hurt myself because maybe I can get my wife and kids. So as a child up until 10, it was the best ever. I had some things go wrong here and there. It wasn't that bad. It didn't bother me back then. It was like everything was okay. And, there are things that went wrong, the sin of the earth. I don't want to say what, but it was never bad. And my mom and dad were really kind to me. And I felt loved and like they acted like they let me speak and do important things like in the family, like if somebody had a birthday cake, I was right up there at the front of the part. If somebody had a birthday party, I was right up at the front, and I said the righteous things that were good. I said really good things that I was supposed to, and if something was wrong, I said, "Oh, that's wrong," and I was really good about being alive. And I played guitar and thinking what other creative things. Here and there I made videos. Starting when I was about 10. That was one of the things that I do. And I put a bunch of that kind of work in my videos, like playing guitar in my videos. And when I was 7, I watched Michael J. Fox and Back to the Future. And I was born in 1977. We watched it at home on some type of thing they had back then to watch movies at home. It may have been a videotape, and we rented it at the video store. Everything was okay back then, and it's been so bad feeling, and I don't know if it'll get okay again. But it's supposed to get really good, and then I'm supposed to like how it is today. And I don't know when it's going to happen. I don't know if I'll make it. And I've been giving up here and there, giving up on wanting to be alive. No, I'm not gay. Whoever thinks that in this environment. And I'm supposed to leave on a plane to get away from here. It's been so difficult from here. And I'm hoping I get to leave. I heard it now. The devil out there. Like really bad. And I heard it out there. And that's what messed things up for me. The devil made things bad. And so here's how it happened. But before I did anything wrong, my life started to feel really bad. Before I even sinned, before I did anything wrong or bad. I'm trying to look as good as I can right now. Like, it's not how I always look. Sometimes I look heavy. Sometimes I look old. Sometimes I look young. I'd like to look really young and good looking all the time and not feel like I was when I was a child. But, maybe one day I'll be okay with accepting old age. And when I was 44, for the first time, I had to say I was old. and I didn't think I'd ever say it. Thought I'd be like 72 and say I was young. Like Mishka, when he was 78, he was young. When he was 82, he was young. And he's 85, and he looks great. And did you see him in the videos? It looked like he was in his 60s, Mishka. Anyway, so he's Inga's son, and they built a neighborhood or whatever. But I'm not trying to associate with. I'm not trying to do anything bad, in case if I ever leave the neighborhood. But he's one of my best friends, Mishka, and he's 85, and I got to see how cool it would be to be older, and Al too. And it made me able to be closer to my dad and see my dad as somebody who's kind of cool. Whereas before I thought, oh, he's old, and I thought I loved him, but I thought like I didn't want to be like him. But I did want to be like him, but it was in my subconscious. I knew I'd like to be like him, but I don't know. I mess up. I sin sometimes. So here's what happened to my life. If you want to see what happened to my life, it's me trying to look cool or something, but I don't know if I even look any good. I look pretty good. I haven't eaten much food today. A miracle if I get to go on a diet again. I made that food in the microwave, made me not eat it because I noticed I actually look good, and that made me feel happy. And so starting my first day of high school. Oh, junior high was okay. I was a little different. I dressed a little funny. I did stupid little pranks and stuff. Some other kids did worse pranks. And they maybe to this day think that I may have done it, and I didn't do any of them. And it's been a worry living near where, like in the same town again. And it's, some kid brought one of those giant fart smells. It smelled up the whole school like a fart. And so they some other kid pulled the fire extinguisher. There's another thing they did, and that I didn't do either of those. But kids mess up. So many kids did things wrong. I don't know. They're just a kid. They didn't know any better. They're children. They're children when they're that young, and they're not liable for their sin. But maybe they deserve some kind of punishment. I don't know. It's sad. So hard to. For them, it's easy. For them, it's easy. They have it under control. It's scary to me. But their mom and dad can do it, or the schools can do it. I don't know. And so, that's great. That's right. So, starting the first day of high school, it was so difficult for me. Something happened where before the first day of high school, my mom and dad moved to a new house in a new neighborhood, and the house they live in now, and it wasn't the same after that. It was like my face grew in ways that I felt awkward about, like now, like looking like hey, hi, Dave. Like now it looks like I have like a big nose or something, like a big nose. But it's no, it's terrible. It sounded like the devil. But like my face grew in ways, and I don't do much of anything to my eyebrows, even if they all grow in. I never got the laser stuff to get rid of hair on my eyebrows. I at times used a tweezer on them. And when Al Bob was here, there's some videos where I let my eyebrows grow for like months, and maybe longer. And it was a godly thing that was supposed to be something godly I could do to be kind to Al Bob before it got really bad with my looks. I used to look really good looking. But in high school, I got kind of awkward. Well, not awkward, just kind of like some guy said at one time to me. He looked right at me and he might have grabbed my t-shirt, and he's really tall and big. I'd get along with him if I saw him. And say like I see him, I don't know. He's okay. He doesn't bother me now. I think he's cool. He was in the country club. It wasn't even a club. It was like they had different groups. They called them groups. Like some were the skateboarders, some were the country people, some were maybe some were gothic, but the country ones, they had rebel flags in the back of their trucks, and some of them had rifles or guns in the back of their trucks. I think it was, and I know it was allowed back then. And at one time, he like grabbed my shirt and came real close. He was huge, like 6'5", or I don't know, 6'4", 6'5", I don't know. And he goes, "Goofy looking fuck," and he said the F word about me. He said, "Goofy looking, whatever it is, the F word, something with an F. That's not, I gotta say what it was." And he called me a goofy looking. And he said, "Is that your girlfriend over there?" This is girl, Kristen. I don't want to say her name. I didn't want to go out there because I had really high standards for if I had a girlfriend or not. And I thought, they've got to look perfect or something. But looking back, wow, she looked really good, you know. And even to this day, they probably look okay. But I'd never be with any of them because I'm married to Danica. I think she's happily married. I think she's married, and I hope she's okay. And I sat at the all-girls table at lunch, and everything was okay at lunch. And I didn't ever kiss any of the ones besides. There's this one girl that I had as a girlfriend. I'd kiss her. That's all that I think we ever did was just kiss and walk and hold hands and then go bye and kiss. And then she'd go to class. But I wasn't a country person in high school. I thought, I don't like country music or something. I didn't understand. But when I got older, I liked country music. I liked country music when I got older. And, you know, some of it's really godly and good. Some of it's really godly and good. But back then, I liked punk rock or some cool thing that I like. Or I liked punk rock. I liked punk rock. I liked glam rock. You know, 80s glam rock, 80s music. I liked mostly 80s music, classical, all genres. Maybe country too. I must have liked country too. And I don't know. But I thought, I don't know. But I better get out of here, y'all. Country boy, I ain't gonna do that. No, I didn't like country music back then. Because I'm Italian and Irish. And my mom and dad are from New York. And I thought, country, I like punk music or something like that. And so I didn't listen to it back then. I don't know why. But I listen to it now. Even the most southern country music from the 60s is okay. Like the original Hank Williams and all, like David Allan Coe. I don't listen to too much of his stuff that when he says the N-word, but I didn't like that. Some people played that later. I never liked it when he has these songs that talk about the N-word. I didn't like that. I like, when I was a kid, Hank Williams anyway, I might go, I might turn this off, but I thought punk rock was cool, and we liked punk rock music, and we thought it was like better than country or some dumb thing like that, but who cares? And then, and I've been through so much since then, it's a small thing. The country's pretty good. My dad listens to country or whatever. I don't know. And he was born on a farm, but I don't know. And he was raised in New York. And so I might have to go somewhere else to talk about this. Maybe the neighbors can hear it, and I'm not supposed to say. I think they can hear it through here. But I don't know where to go. I'd like to put blinds on all the windows. I like to put curtains, but I'm probably not supposed to stay. I don't know. God knows. God told me 2 months ago, get out of here. But without saying it in a New York accent, God said, had 3 close people, including that neighbor. I'm not going to say which one, who lives at a house nearby here. He told me to leave in a kind, good way, because he's kind and good. And I didn't know, and I thought he was mean. I accused him of being like the devil, and it was wrong. And sometimes I thought, he's so mean. And it got really dark here, and it was beautiful and sunny. It was sunny at his house, and I knew God was there, and he was okay. But then I'd say these mean things and said he was mean. So he's been okay. I don't know. And so I don't know. I don't know where to go to talk about this. It looks like he's going right to the screen. And hello. And so I can't even say how bad it started to feel. But one day I'll tell you, I hope. Or we'll all die. I'll die before anyone heard it, if I don't tell you. But high school was really difficult for me. And I had to come back to this house that's near where my high school was. And I was put through 3 more years of all of the difficulty I went through in high school, that I still didn't want to leave town after high school. It wasn't that bad. But I went to these other colleges nearby, and one of them, Virginia Tech, was really good. But I don't know what it was. I thought, they're okay, but I thought I'll try a college in Los Angeles. And I went to Los Angeles, and I really liked it. I really had fun. There's something in my mouth. Food. I'm sorry. I didn't eat anything, but I had a few bites of it, and then I put it in the microwave to cook it the rest of the way. This huge vegan thing, and it's huge vegan fake meat. I had some bites the outside of it that was cooked, and then I cooked it in the microwave. They probably thought I was lying, like I edited all this. Come on. This is me walking around holding an iPhone, filming myself. This is not my best work. Unless I said something really godly in it, This is no editing, me walking around holding a phone. My best work is my films. You can tell that I did the work on my films. If you think this is my best work, it's sad. This is me walking around. It's not you're not the one who's sad. It's sad that I worked so hard for God and to have a life that I thought I'd like one day, and it still hasn't happened yet. But maybe I just gotta do something different. Maybe I gotta take it easy, or maybe I was supposed to be set. Meaning, like, my mom and dad would pay for everything because I know how much I've been through, and I worked for them for 20 years, and maybe they can just pay me a little so I can get by, and I can stay in this house that I worked really hard on before, and I can keep the house in good condition here and there. And then how do I pay for my wife and kids? What if my dad got angry and I didn't go through the things like I'm supposed to not do? I'm not supposed to do. I don't have any physical problems, but it's not like I just walk around and do whatever I feel like, or there were punishments done to me that were really frightening, really, really frightening. And I get so afraid that there's not much more I can do. I started hoping to die, to be at peace from it. And God wouldn't let me kill myself. And he kept me away from ways to kill myself. So it was like trapped in this body suffering, so afraid of what they had already done to me. And it's like telling that guy right now, like, they want to make it so I can't just feel really good. Like, as if maybe it's not even a problem anymore. Like, maybe it's not even a problem anymore, but it's not his fault. It's like he's down there, and it's like some devil or demon or something from here pretending to be him, like coming through here. But maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I'm not crazy, but maybe I've been in the woods a little too long. But I was able to pay my bills I don't know. I was able to pay my bills on my own with God. With God, I was able to pay my bills for 10 years. I was able to pay my bills for 10 years with God. So that's pretty good. I had to work really hard. And I also worked hard at films and videos. I earned some money at the videos and films. That's been the past 10 years, but most of the money was from working on this home. Like, I don't even want to show you all the work I did. It could take hours just to show you all the work I did one at a time. And you're not supposed to show all that stuff when you renovate a house. Nobody really shows every detail of everything you did. That's the real estate business in the United States, renovating homes. People don't show every detail of everything they do. Okay, that's how it is. If they did, there'd be some jerk who said, "Oh, you did it wrong." They want to get you in trouble for it or something. It's so hard to do. It's not really my thing, but I'm pretty good at it. And if people made millions of dollars at it and billions of dollars, below billions, it's not a lowball figure. The last time I researched was a few years ago. The richest people in real estate make about they have about a $3 million to $4 million net, about a $3 million net worth. That's about what it was. And when I mention those numbers, something about the guy who moved next door, he brings the numbers down. I don't know, it's like any numbers that I try to add up or whatever. So maybe I was wrong to look at numbers or percentages of things as a way of being alive. Like, I'm okay 20% of the time, or 10%. He'd make it 10% of the time, but not really. He didn't do it that time, but maybe 20% of the time. But who knows? And it was like felt like a skeleton of an aborted baby coming up through the floor, like almost not into my body that time, but with skin on it and stuff, like coming up through the floor, like maybe an alien fetus or who knows what. But I got a thought of it. I didn't visually hallucinate. I didn't hear an audio hallucination, but I've heard those before. And when I go out there around people, I don't hear any audio hallucinations. I hear the actual people who are out there. And sometimes through the walls, I can get thoughts from the neighbors that I get, but I don't know if it's real or not. And I think I'm tired of being at home, and I like to be out there, but maybe I'm supposed to be at home. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. But high school all of a sudden was really difficult for me. It didn't make me depressed. It didn't make me suicidal. I don't know. Maybe it made me a little sad, but not really. But it was so hard to do. It was no longer fun anymore. For hours every day. It was so difficult, and it felt like weeks for one day. And they put me through the same thing at this house. The past 3 or 4 years. And I don't know what this is. Sounds like the devil or something. It's not what it is. But the thing is, I hadn't sinned back then before high school, so I don't know why I deserve to be suffer the least of them. So I'll feel okay, it felt like. But this looks pretty good. I look pretty good, dude. That was that. And so I suffered in schools. It wasn't really my thing to be in a school, but my mom and dad did it, and God made me honor my mom and dad by going to schools. I had to honor my mom and dad, and it was not easy. And in college, it was sometimes difficult, but a little better than high school. But I didn't like it, but I had to work anyway. So it was like stuff that I had to do, like high school and college and universities. And so I had to keep going to this. So my mom and dad said they'd pay for me if I went to there instead of going to work. But if I had gone back to when I was, I would have left town at 16. I would have left town at 16 back then. And I don't know if that's allowed. You know, if you're allowed to do it. I think it's too young. I think you have to wait till you're a grown up. I might have waited till 19 when I went to Los Angeles, but I really did. And I got to go to schools, and I made films and made some music and stuff and did stuff like that. And I was in a band. I was in 3 bands. They didn't get that big. One of them, we played a show. We may have played 2 or 3 shows. I don't know. We may have played 2 or 3 shows in one band I had. And there's one of them that I played drums in, that band. And I played at this club in Los Angeles. And there were a bunch of people in the club, and they kept looking in the windows outside, and a bunch of people outside trying to look in. So that was pretty cool. We sounded good. We were young. They're older than me. I was like 20. I was 20, I think, or 21. And they were 25, and I thought they were so old. Well, not those. No, I thought this other guy was so old. He was 25. Maybe they were 23 or 2 or something. And this other guy in the band that was with them had tattoos up and down his arms, and he was the one who I thought was so old. A little bit for being 25, but I didn't think he was old. He was like young. He was cool. He looked really cool and had tattoos on his arms. He's a genius at guitar, way better than all of them. And and they're all Mexican, and so was he, a Mexican American. But they talked white and raised in America and stuff. And I was the only one who wasn't Mexican. And so one time they showed me the other guy, and it was like he let me play an acoustic guitar with him playing on lead. And it would have been so cool to be in a band with him. He was like a genius at playing lead guitar, and he recognized my melodic ability at playing the melodies that I play that sound really good, that my grandfather played, and I learned how to make really good sounding melodies that just sound good, basic, simple melodies on rhythm guitar. And I'm okay at lead, but not like him. He was really a genius. And he was like, he wanted to play with me. And it was my chance to get away from the drums and actually play cool guitar, and maybe could have sang. But I hadn't sang yet. I was afraid to sing, and I didn't know how to sing until I got together with my wife. And when I was 25, I got to sing, and we made a short film, and we made films of me playing music and singing. And I got to sing. But in that band, Lorena was the one who sang or whatever. And it didn't get very big. We played like a few shows, or 1 show or 2 or 3 shows. And it hasn't felt easy. It hasn't felt easy. I was put to work really hard. And I've been afraid, like a fear driving me to afraid to take it easy, and like, you know, retire or something with my mom and dad paying me money out of the value of this house, you know, it was put in my dad's name that I own 75% of after a particular investment that he made in it that I'm not going to say, but I can't really talk about it. But he put his name in the deed a couple years ago, or a year or 2 or 3 years ago, and he's been trying to do the work to it, and that's so weird because I got here on my own with God. God brought me here. And how are you? Hey, I thought of the guy with the Darth Vader meme face who watches the videos, and it may suck after this for 10 hours or 2 hours. No, not 10 hours. What's time? Oh, no. Well, if I'm asleep for 10 hours, because I'll probably sleep. I don't know how I'd be awake for that long. It'd be really weird. I'd have to not eat the food and drink caffeine. It's so scary to me. It's frightening to me that, you know, I don't know what's going to happen, but maybe it's not that, I don't know, maybe it's not that bad. But all these bad, frightening things happen to me. And if I could be with my wife and kids, it's worth living if I get to be with them. If I get to be with them. And if I don't get to be with them, I don't know why I'd even want to live. So that's how bad it's felt having to be alone without them. Alone, that I didn't get. Because I thought my videos weren't earning enough money, so I started to give up on it here. And my wife didn't come back. And so instead of getting my dad to co-sign a loan so I could work really hard in the house and do things like put new cabinets upstairs and make it look better and put do other work to the house, but he's kind of here and there. He's been working on the house by getting this man John Birch and other people, like he went to he brought a refrigerator and stuff, and it feels like it just doesn't feel like me as the one doing the work sometimes, and I don't like it. And he's tried to act like it's his house, and he put the house in his name on the deed, and God keeps telling me it's mine. He keeps losing at it and saying, when he tries to say it's his, but I don't know I don't know if I'm supposed to say that in a video or not, but I wrote on a piece of paper, and got him to sign it that I own some of the house, and I got him to agree in an email. And I studied and looked up that you don't always need a contract to own some of the house, and so we wouldn't make an argument between me and my dad. He'd give me all the money if besides his investment, if we sell it. So I don't know why I'd sell it, and I don't know what I'm supposed to do. And I don't know. There's been days where I don't know if I own anything. Like, it went away. It's not anymore. Like, I'm not supposed to say right now, but I could have. There's some days when I think I have, like with all my stuff that's worth some money and the value of the house, I think maybe I have I can't even say that guy's next door, and he hates it. He's like, I don't know, I don't even want to say. So I don't really know how much money I have. And I think some days I think it's like a net worth of about $550,000. $550,000 sounds big, right? I worked for 20 years for my mom and dad, who have a bunch of money, and that's with the value I have in my house after we sell it, and with all my stuff. So that's like, it could be $550,000, or say like something went wrong and my dad got pissed at the smallest thing that I did, who knows what, or I don't know why. That's not going to happen because I'm not a jerk. I wouldn't be mean to him, but God knows what'll happen. And God's also told me sometimes I'll be a bum. God told me I'll be a bum. Well, other people told me, but it felt godly and righteous what they said. One time, my dad tried to tell me right to my face without saying in words. He said, "You'll die in complete poverty." And before he could say poverty, he said, "You'll die in complete poverty," and stopped. But I don't think he'll die. But he said what he had really said. I don't know if he stopped right then, but he said, "You'll die in complete poverty," without saying in words. He did it by looking at me and mouthing it without saying it. But that was all his real intent from his soul that he said to me. And and then after that, the jerk that I am, standing up for what I have on earth, I literally, I've made people sign contracts and stuff, and to make sure that they didn't do bad things to me and stuff when I was younger. I don't do it anymore because they've kicked the shit out of me here for 3 or 4 years or 5 years or 6 years. It's felt so bad. I've hoped to die 34,000 times. It's been so difficult. But I'm not depressed anymore. I'm not depressed anymore. And so So after he said, you'll die in complete poverty, with all his heart, soul, and intent, not his body's heart. That's different. Our bodies will deteriorate and die, and his soul, you'll die in complete poverty. But he said something else with his words, but mouthed it like you'll die in complete poverty, he said. And then I said, well, can you see the future? Do you know what's going to happen in the future? And he agreed and said no. He agreed right then and said no. I said, I know, because only God knows what will happen in the future. And I made him, and I said that to him. You know who did that? Me and God. Me and God. God did. God made me this. God made me this way. I don't know why, but for some reason I made him say that. But still, there was no reassurance from anyone to know if I wouldn't die in complete poverty or not. After I've worked for like 80 years at my films and videos, the videos that I haven't been working very hard at this year. This entire year, I haven't been working very hard at the videos because I wasn't getting enough views. So I stopped doing my best work, and I kind of did my best work this year. And, I've been at it 30 years, and I was wondering why it's not, but, it sucks that I don't know if what I said was right or wrong, but it could have been good or not. But I got him to agree to that after he said it. Almost no reassurance, like no way to know, because what he really said was, you'll die in complete poverty. He said it to me with all his soul, and I don't know why he said it, so I don't know what's going to happen. And he's kept me not knowing what if I'll have any money or not working so hard all the time. But he thinks it's fun and good, like to keep me working. He has no idea of how difficult it is, how many times I've hoped to die to be at peace from how difficult it is. And I'm so afraid of like relying on him and my mom, because it's not their fault. They don't even know. He thought I'd like work hard, and he's nice, and he's never done anything bad to me. And but when I didn't have my wife there for me anymore, like I got tricked into being really mean. Not mean, but that wasn't the worst of it. It was I was shown hell, and I was so horrified by the things that I saw at one time at the end of 2014, and I was so afraid. And I had to go out there and work in it. My dad made me go out there and work because he thought, well, what's wrong with me? He didn't think there's anything wrong with me because he thought I was physically okay. And he was getting older. And it's not his fault. He thought, what could possibly be wrong? He had to go to Vietnam. How bad could it have been? He thought he didn't understand that, like, I feel like so many people in my life went in on it to try to make me feel really bad. Like they're angry at me and how I was, and my wife wasn't there to stand up for me. She wasn't there to stand up for me. And so I was like on my own, and God put me through these really difficult things since I haven't had her. And everything was in balance, they said, or I don't know if that means anything. That might have been some Libra thing. But everything was okay when I had my wife. I had her to stand up for, but sometimes it was not, it was also not that great sometimes, but I wasn't suicidal. I was never suicidal. Everything was okay enough that I didn't hope to die. It was so bad or so difficult or so much suffering. And I don't know. And maybe it'll be really okay now. But I know heaven's really good. And I'd like to be in heaven, but maybe it'll be okay on earth too one time. So, and forever, or 100 times, or 1,000,000 billion times dead, rather than go through any more of the worry about all the things I had to fear. That would be burned up in the lake of fire as soon as you got judged and sent to hell. You set foot in it, and you burned up and died instantly, the second death in hell, and then you went to heaven. And then the worst of it, you got judged and sent to hell, but God loved you so much. As soon as you set foot in the lake of fire, you burned right up and died. And died the second death and made it right to heaven. The worst event that would ever happen to you, it will never happen to most. I think maybe it'll never happen to, I don't know who it'll happen to, but that would be the worst that would happen to me if I said that right then. I think from how much suffering I have gone through, I had to live through for the past, you know, it's not like the best looking John Birmingham all the time person who people see. It's like sometimes I had to act really old or fat or old or who knows how bad it felt, you know, me and God knew. I said me and knew God. And God knows how bad I felt. Maybe nobody else does besides me and whoa. But hey, for some reason I look good on camera talking right now. I don't know why. I better get out of here. I better get out of this house. You know? It's another thing. God's told me many different things. Some are that I should stay. Some are I had to go. Some are, you know, it's almost like I gotta, no. No, who's that? Old grandma Irish one he's chained, never met, who's a ghost. No. I don't know. But this is my video looking good, it looked like, or feeling good, because I didn't eat much food. But even right there, I could tell it looked like that was, hair didn't shave. I don't know. I don't know. But I have no idea how I look. And so this is pretty good. Here's the food that I made. Get out of there quick. Don't show it. They try to make me itch my butt crack right then to put the scent of crap on it right when I open the food to put it into it. That's the kind of suffering I've had to go through at this house. I don't know why they put me through it. Long hours of it. It's been awful. It's been so awful. I'm supposed to leave. I was supposed to leave 2 months ago. It felt so bad here. Oh look, have to sweep this room. I'll just do it right now. Even though I had to itch my butt and I have to pee, I'll do this. When I get a have to pee, have to itch my butt. Itch my butt. I don't know what I'll do because the plumbing in this one's not hooked up, and I can put a toilet in it. This is the 4th bathroom out of 6 bathrooms in this house. 6 bathrooms, pretty good. And I cleaned it up and it looks good. All I gotta do is add the plumbing, but I'm not going to. Maybe. All I gotta do is add the plumbing. I'm paying them for it if I sell it. No. Or add the plumbing. Ah! There's an old fan in the ceiling. I can put a new fan in, but you know, I've had to do this entire house. The work of 4 houses. This is fun because I get to film the video while I'm working. I didn't touch this thing with my hands. I itched my butt, but I didn't touch. No. Get out of here, spider. Get out of here, you old motherfucker. No! F-U-G-G-E-R, a fugger. Fudrugger. I didn't curse in this entire video, thank God. No editing. Oh, great. What does that mean? Okay. Okay. Cleaned up the bathroom. I am good. I am good. Bye. Praise Jesus. Praise the Lord. Praise Jesus. Bye.